Hey everyone, Diogo here. I just wanted to make a quickish video in regards to like Varka before his release date. And by the time that this video is actually released, there should be like a couple more days, I think like 3-4 more days before his banner is actually officially out. But I just really wanted to talk about and have like a sort of like a discussion about what I think could happen after Varka comes out. So sort of like his future compatibility with Genshin, and if he's gonna get like good support, he's gonna be like a valuable character in your account if you decide to pull for him right now. Before I actually head into the main bit of the video, I just wanted to do like a very quick disclaimer that I've actually tried to stay away as much as I could from like the leaks regarding Varka, just like mainly from like his gameplay and his damage. I kind of just want to learn the way that he plays out, because whenever I really enjoy a character, I'm looking forward to them. I don't really care about the gameplay. I don't really care about the playstyles and all that. I kind of want to learn myself when I go into it. Like, so for example, when I had Arle, obviously she was already a part of the game, so I got her in the rerun, but I got her C6 straight away when I was able to, because I just really enjoyed her. I'm going to try to do the exact same thing with Varka. I don't know if I have enough materials for him or not. So you can see right over here that these are my current funds for Varka. It's quite a lot, to be honest. I think if I go into over here the shop, it'll be like 300 total. Yeah, 301 total. So it's quite a lot. And then I also have Stardust Exchange, and then I also have like the 26 extra pulls. So in total, I already have like 335 if I'm not mistaken. And then obviously I'm going to get more until the patch actually comes out and so forth. And I'll probably spend, I'd say, at least one more of like the biggest pack before the actual release of Varka. This doesn't guarantee me C6, but I just want to get as much as possible. If I'm lucky in my pulls, I might spend a bit more to go for him, but I think the plan for the time being is just really C2R1 baseline. If I have extra, I'll go for more constellations, and then I'll see where I end up and if I want to pull for more or not. Also, another thing that I just really quickly want to mention is just the fact that most of the things I'm going to be talking about in this video are just going to be purely speculation, so I could be completely wrong. This is just me going to base off what happened in the past with like Genshin, what like Hoyoverse have done, that they might do in the future. I'm just trying to see if I can find any trends or anything like that. I could be completely wrong, so don't take what I'm going to say in this video as like gospel. So I just want to have that like warning that this might happen. But now diving more into the main reason why I'm making this video, I'm sure as that many of you guys have also seen, Varka has kind of turned like the Genshin leaks community into like a meltdown. Like I mentioned before, I didn't see a lot of it, but I just saw the complete meltdown that people were having in terms of like the DPS numbers that Varka was having. So I kind of just want to have a video of like potential up in the stakes of Varka stocks, let's say. So to not be like on the bad side, on the negative side, to try to like help out Varka's case. The main thing that I want to mention is just the pure fact that when Varka releases in a couple of days, so like in 3-4 days time, you will be releasing without a pure dedicated support for him and the faction that he's currently in, which is the Hexing Circle faction. Let's just call it the Hex faction to make it easier. But yeah, like obviously there is Durin, who was the first 5-star character that got released within the faction, which kind of like helped start it all up, let's just say. But if you go through Durin's kit, you can see that he's got good synergy with Varka, but he doesn't really seem the type of character that is a dedicated Varka support. I see him more of like a sub DPS within the Varka team that helps out like characters that are going to come out in the future for the faction, for the Hex faction. Pretty much the best example that I can show you guys of this fact is literally Durin's Ascension material. So you can see over here what the description is saying, but this is like, you can see the Dragon White Flame. After nearby party members trigger burning, overloaded, pyro swirl, or pyro crystallized reactions on the opponent, or deal pyro damage or dendro damage, blah 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 blah. They're basically, Durin provides 20% red shred for pyro and the element that is also part of the reaction. So let's say in Varka's case, it'll be Anemo. So it'll be Anemo and pyro. Both of them will receive 20% red shred for 6 seconds that Durin will provide. But obviously from the description, you can see that also burning, overloaded, this is like other elements. So obviously overloaded is pyro and electro. Burning is pyro and dendro. And Pyro and Crystallize is obviously Pyro and Geo. So it's just a general support. If I go over here to the Hex like buff that obviously started with Durin, you can see that all of these things get increased by 75%. So I don't know from the top of my head how much it goes up to, but I'm assuming this goes up to like close to like 35% or like around there. So the rest rate gets increased to 35%. So this does increase even more, but this is just a generalized support for the Hex faction, not necessarily for Varka. Don't get me wrong, Durin is still a very, very good character. Like if I show you over here, if I back out, if I go to his constellation, his C2 is pretty insane for like a support capability, because it literally increases 50% of like the damage of Pyro, which will increase Durin's damage, but then also increase Varkas damage, and then it also increased Varkas Anemo damage, because it increases for both of them at the same time. But this is only mainly for like high investments, so it's not for everyone. I'm just mainly talking from like a C0 point of view. Like this is mainly from like a C0 point of view, but yeah. The way that I like to think of Durin in Varka's team, with like a different team as an example, is kind of like how Bennett is for Arlecchino. Because Bennett, obviously he provides a massive like attack buff within the burst. Thank you very much, Bennett. But yeah, he provides a massive like attack buff, but it's nothing dedicated for Silali. So for example, the dedicated support for Arlecchino would be Silali, because obviously she provides the melts within the team, which is, if used correctly, will be the biggest provider of damage to Arlecchino, because it multiplies the damage so much. Obviously, Bennett is a huge cause for this. This is the reason why he's probably the best support in the game for like a very long time. But it's not nothing dedicated for like Varka's kit or anything like that, because obviously, from what I could see, the best team for Varka includes Varka, Bennett, Durin, and then also Venti in terms of like numbers. All of this essentially leads me on to speaking about Nicole. Obviously, we already know that she's going to be coming out pretty soon, and she's obviously going to be part of the Hex faction that's going to be buffing both Durin and Varka. So it's really just now speculation about what her kit is. Like I said before, I think there's already been like some crumbs about like what her kit could possibly be, but nothing like definite. But one of the things that I really do hope that she provides is essentially like a Bennett buff, but better. What I mean by this is, I wanted to buff Varka's attack on a similar level to how Bennett does it, but then on top of this, to make her worth it, let's say, because she's obviously going to be 5-star, then why are you going to go for a Nicole when you could just have Bennett that does pretty similar things? But I want her to give quite a lot of attack speed to Varka. From what I could tell from the tiny bit of gameplay that I saw, if you can get his attack speed higher, he's going to be able to do more rotations. This is a bit on the side, but if you was able to provide both of these things, you'll be an excellent support for who else? Arlecchino, obviously. Not because I want another support for Arlecchino, but it'll just be another team to try out for Arlecchino, which would be amazing. I could potentially have even like a higher DPS output, and like for her team at the moment, I can replace, like, for example, Kazuha with Nicole, which would be pretty crazy. But either way, this video is about Varka, not Arlecchino. But yeah, if she's able to provide both of those things to Varka, or some type of like rest shred, if somehow she like has like a broken like requirement like a Scoffia, because a Scoffia can provide 55% red shred for Hydro and Cryo if she has only Hydro and Cryos in the team. If she can provide something like that, which might be limiting in terms of teams, but it will buff Varka so much, it would be incredibly broken. And then obviously all of this would essentially make Varka have a higher DPS ceiling, which would put him more in level to how like the normal DPSs are nowadays. I really do believe that literally just Nicole, it will put Varka's like DPS of like his team in line with like everyone else that has been released like in the recent past, like the Bai, Flins, Nefa. Maybe not Nefa and Flins because their ceilings are extremely high, but still, I think like it'll be much better. Thing is, this is not even the end of this discussion. Like literally, one of the main things that Varka is also still missing is another Anemo support for his team. Obviously, the main thing from his kit is the fact that he wants 2 characters from specific elements. So basically, he wants 2 characters of the Anemo element and 2 characters of the Pyro element in conjunction together. Based on the speculation that I just said, I'd suggest that Nicole would replace Bennett. But then the Nemo character so far that's in part of Varka's best team is Venti. As you can all know, Venti is not the best support in the game. The best thing that he have from his kit is the crowd control, but that doesn't work on every enemy. And even then, even with the buff that he recently got, they're not the best. But let's say that there's like a in the near future a Hex faction 2.0 for like different characters. I'm half expecting Jean to get one of these buffs. For those of you that don't know, her C4 is incredibly good for just like Anemo main carries. Like, let me just say this. Let's say like Nicole comes out in like 2 patches time. So Varka comes out, then there's going to be a different character, and then Nicole comes after that. And then the patch after Nicole, it's Jean's like Hex faction buff. Technically, we could wait only like 3 patches, and then we have Varka's full team. So it will consist of Varka, Durin, Nicole, and Jean, if she gets a good enough buff. But this might happen, this might not happen. Obviously, speculation, as always. But what if we go a different route? What if instead of Jean getting buffed, there's a totally new character that gets released? Potentially a Anemo character that introduces a lot of red shred built into their kit. So instead of waiting for like a C4 constellation like Jean has, they just have the red shred at a base, sort of like how Escoffier has it. And then if you want more constellations, they'll do other things. That's also a possibility. So you could have like a lot of flexibility with the team. The good thing with Varka, from what I could tell, is the fact that you don't need to dedicate him for specific teams. Obviously, we are talking about over here his best team. But hey, if you want to, you can use 2 Anemo characters and then 2 Cryo characters. If you want to, you can use 2 Anemo characters and 2 Electro characters. Is it advised in terms of damage output? Possibly not, but you could always do it. You could always do it. And then this is gonna be like very far into the future, most likely. Like from the screen from the last live stream that Genshin put out, she's not part of the list of characters that are scheduled to be releasing anytime soon. But the person I'm speaking about is Alice. Obviously, she's going to be part of the Hex faction. She's obviously part of it. That's without a doubt, I'd say, to this point. But she could potentially, like, all speculations are leading towards her being a main DPS, sort of how like Klee is. But what if she's a DPS with a hint of Mavuika? Obviously, Varka was a broken DPS when she was released, but she had extremely underrated like support capabilities. What if Alice is something like that? Will it mean that Genshin like pirate characters are gonna get further like power crept? Yes, like I feel kind of bad for Malakido if that was to happen, but hey, it could benefit a character like Varka. Sure, it's extremely like ahead. It's at least like half a year ahead into the Genshin cycle, but it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about. I do want to start now wrapping up the video, coming towards the end. Like, I do want to mention again that this is pretty much all like wishful thinking, or in other words, opium of like a future Varka main. But at the same time, the main thing that led me to creating this video is the fact that over the last couple of days, just more and more and more and more promotional like work about Varka is being done by like Genshin and Hoyoverse. I just don't see like a point of doing all of this to then release like a DPS that won't have any future proof into like Genshin. I just don't really see it happening or see the point of it. It could just be, like I said, wishful thinking, but I just really hope that that's not the case. But I guess we'll find out in the future. Maybe this video will age very poorly. Let's just see. I will wrap up the video over here. It's already like close to 15 minutes long. It was just basically me yapping. I just kind of wanted to like give out my thoughts before the actual release of Varka. We are going to have like a couple of videos in the channel. Obviously, when Varka comes out on the Wednesday, we're going to have a dedicated video for it. It won't come out straight away on a Wednesday, but I want to try and put it out by like the Friday into the Saturday. it's gonna be pretty cool. I basically have like all the materials nearly done. I'll probably put like a community post just before the actual release, like either Monday or Tuesday. If you guys want to see it, just like subscribe to the channel, and you can see like on the community post how it actually goes, like the pre-farming that I've done so far. Hopefully my pulls will be good. I could end up spending a lot of money, let's say. I really hope that's not the case, but as always, I do truly hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please do like the video. If you have any criticism, either good or bad, just let me know. If there's anything that you think I can improve in the video, just shout me what exactly you have in mind, and I'll give it a look. And if I find it useful, I'll implement it to the videos. But yeah, as always, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sticking to me till the end. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Must have been to 11 when the world ended. At least it felt like it at the time. Teenage years make a heartbreak worse. Plus a lot was going on, couldn't stop it at the time.